Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Wicked Darkness. Please make sure to follow us so you can keep listening to our episodes. If you want to see more of us, give us a like on Facebook and Instagram, as well as our YouTube channel, Soup Hit 2009. This is Kathy from Wicked Darkness, and we are coming to you from the Baraboo Inn in Baraboo, Wisconsin. And I have the team with me. So tonight we have Rich,
Hey.
We have Brian,
Hello.
We have Leah,
Hey.
We have Amy, we have Rob,
Woohoo!
we have Dan.
Howdy.
That's
Lord.
Yes,
VP,
how is your
Reverend.
title?
It is Reverend Lord VP.
Reverend Lord VP. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, I'm an ordained minister. I own property in Scotland, and I am the vice president of Soup Hit Incorporated.
There you go. It's official. And BSer. Got it.
Did we get Dan?
We got Dan in there too, yeah.
I have documentation.
So
yes.
we're doing a different type of podcast tonight. We are in the middle of an investigation at the Baraboo Inn. And so we thought we would come to you and just kind of talk about what we are doing and how things are run during our investigations. So we've been just kind of sitting around chit-chatting in this one room. The second half of our podcast, you're actually going to hear us doing a spirit box session, also known as the Estes method. Estes method. I kept saying Estes the last time, and I apologize. It's Estes method.
I kept thinking of STDs.
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. It was the Estes method. That's what we're going to be doing. So I will be blindfolded. I'm going to. You can tell it's a different one because we're all talking all at the same time. So you're going to hear me talking. I'll be blindfolded and I will be listening to the radio, sweeping through the channels really quickly. So we're on the second floor of the inn, or it's a bar actually, below us, but we're on the second floor, which used to be a brothel. And I guess we're in the, what would you call this? The madam's quarters.
Yeah, the head madams. I don't know that.
Yeah.
The most expect.
This is what you normally don't hear from us.
The best China madam.
So the floor itself has 3 rooms. And they're just losing it, guys. I'm really sorry. It's very trying sometimes to.
Yeah, it's been a long.
It's right now for us. It's after midnight, and it's been a long day, so we're a little giddy and tired. We just got back from supper, so we're all kind of tired from our full stomachs. So the back of the building has got 2 rooms, smaller rooms. Those would have been for the B girls, the not the expensive girl, the easier to get a hold of girls. I don't know how you would call it. And then the
Less experience.
there you go,
Yeah.
less experience, lower quality, or for the cheapskates too. Then you get to the madam or the A girl. She's the one that is the more experienced, and she gets the higher quality services. I guess this is the PG way of saying things. You might hear some beeping in the background. That's our motion detectors going off with our DVR system. So they go off when there's motion. And of course, we've got one in a room that we're in.
Well, that one might show off pretty soon if we don't move, because that one just did.
Yeah.
So nobody moved.
You can breathe, just don't move. So we were kind of talking before about EVPs that we caught at Ashmore and other locations that we've been at. And we were discussing if it was like residual that we're getting or if it's an intelligent EVP. And we were talking about how we get hellos and we get different things that when we're asking questions, we're not actually getting the answers that we're talking about. It's just a random comment that the spirits say. So we're not sure if those are actually residual or if they're intelligent. We do get some that are in response. Like if you go to our website right now, we have one where I was talking about children at Ashmore, and then you hear little kids talking and saying, he sees us. Also, Brian was talking to the spirits on the 3rd floor, and we got the shut the blank up. And those ones are more intelligent. So tonight we're kind of just going to be chit-chatting, and it's like I said, it's going to be a little bit different than our normal podcast. So what do you guys think so far? I had to move. I'm sorry.
Right, and it was perfect.
It was, but I kept sitting on my feet.
Right now, so far, I personally haven't had any experiences
Mhm.
or anything, but I mean, we're also haven't reviewed evidence yet. The REM pod's been going off crazy, and was this the child's room is what we've been calling it. I don't know if that's the official title, but there's still speculation on if it's something in there or if it's working properly.
Or the cold that's
But
outside.
We did get a picture that we did, we haven't really been able to explain. It could be possibly be one of the members, our team members in this picture. I posted on my page. I guess I could post it on the SUPIT page and see what everybody else thinks. Where we debunked a couple other pictures, the green spring thing that was moving around.
What did you determine it was?
It was just a reflection of one of those energy saver light bulbs that are like coiled.
Yeah.
Well, on the ground, it was like green. It was like reflecting green on the ground. So
Gotcha.
it looked like a weird green spring, but it was moving.
Right.
So I don't know.
Right.
It was too perfectly shaped.
Yeah, but I mean, how many people would have saw that and thought it was something? So I mean, it was good to be able to.
Well, and you really had to.
You had to look at it. You had to think.
You had to zoom in too.
Well, how much time have we already spent trying to figure out if that picture?
Right.
Actually, it's Amy. We don't know if it's Amy. We could be Amy, but I mean, we spent a lot of time and we're still looking at it.
Right.
Yeah, because some of it makes you say it has to be her, but then looking at it, you go, I
don't know.
I don't know, because it doesn't. Some of it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. But I mean,
we tried to recreate it, and we couldn't recreate it.
Right. The rational brain says it's got to be her, but when you look at it, you go, there's too many things there that
too many variables.
There's too many things that aren't consistent with what we were able to recreate. So I don't know about that. It's interesting.
Yeah, especially since it was several of us. What happened was a group of us were standing looking at the DVR system, and I was taking pictures of the one screen from the room we were in where it's all of us staring at the DVR. And I took a couple pictures, and one of them, I don't know if it's Amy or an entity, just kind of appears. It's not in the other two pictures. So far, that has been it for me.
Yeah, myself as well. I haven't felt anything. I'm not sensitive towards any of this, any paranormal stuff or spirits. So I wouldn't get that feeling, but I haven't had that creepy feeling or even have heard or seen anything that struck me as odd other than that picture. So
We talked about our other theories,
Yeah, absolutely.
our log theory, and
Well, I just shared it I shared the pictures that you were talking about onto the Wicked Darkness Facebook page.
okay.
So people can see it on the.
Well, I meant the torture log.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying those pictures that you were just talking about, I just uploaded that onto there. But yeah, so there's a log in the basement, and that is supposed to be the torture log.
It's vertical.
Yeah. And it's supposedly, allegedly, we'll go with allegedly, it's allegedly where they were taking the mobsters were taking the people downstairs and they were torturing them. If they didn't pay the girls, or they did something that the mob didn't like, and then they would torture them by, tying them to this pole, this log. It's what would you say the dimensions are? Like,
Second well,
it's bigger than a telephone pole.
because it is a log, it's not a telephone pole or something. It's like a tree they cut out of their
Right.
out of the yard that was straight up and down, and it is basically placed where it would be a load bearing
Support.
Mhm.
but it has got a, well, I mean,
I'd say
I
maybe
could
3 or 4. Well,
no, that's crazy.
2 foot, I would say 2 feet diameter.
that's bigger than that.
I could put my arms around it, easily.
Right.
So
So the people, they allegedly would shoot you in the head, or they would, to end you, or they would shoot you in the stomach to make it last longer, to torture you. And there's this alleged blood stain on the log that won't, they tried to paint over it and it doesn't go away. Now, we're not saying that this is not true. However, we did find another log down there, another support beam that has the same markings on the bottom.
And that should be understood that it looks like what is supposed to be the blood stain is starting at the bottom and kind of like coming up, which actually wouldn't make sense to being shot in the stomach or the head and blood dripping down.
Right. And there's no, where there looks like there is a bullet hole, an alleged bullet hole, there's no blood coming down. There's no blood stain coming down from that area. And if you got shot in the head, you would think that there would be blood coming down the backside, and it would stain from that point down. And there's no stain there. So we're not saying that what they claim is not true. It's just that for us, it doesn't seem that way, from what we've seen of it.
Okay, now, not that I'm trying to.
No, please play devil's advocate.
But I want to do my part. Let's just say there was a body there, and it's more of like the splatter effect where you're only seeing the parts where maybe the person's legs were, and that's the piece that you're seeing that has the blood still. And maybe the other parts you're not seeing because there was a body there.
Well, because
Maybe.
then what about the other log? The other log had the same kind of markings. To me, it looks like it's absorbing water from, or we already know it's been flooding because there was the Roto-Rooter sticker, and even by the back door, there's, it's damp.
Now, if it was water damage, would you be able to paint over it, or would the paint not stick to it? Being
I don't think it would, depending on it, if it was moldy. And that was the other thing. There was a fire there.
Right.
And as it was pointed out, there was a hole up in the second floor, burned a hole up into the second floor from the first floor. There was apparently no damage as far as fire damage in the basement, but of course that's where all the water would go.
Right. And that happened in 1989, or around that time period.
I'm pimping Roto-Rooter.
Yeah, you are.
No,
They're loving
we
it.
were a cleaner company that was there. Said 86. It was written 86 on there. So apparently they have been already having flooding, plus that the water from the fire, and I don't think you can paint over. I'm not an expert, but I also don't know about them holes actually being bullet holes.
Mhm.
They're small.
Right.
For even a 22. So I'm
Yeah,
not a
we-
ballistics expert, but I do own a few firearms, and I know that it's kind of a small opening.
Right. And again, we're not saying that it's not true, it didn't happen, but from our standpoint, that's what we have noticed. That's what we have kind of we went and tried to figure out the claims itself. So that's what we have kind of came up with.
Well, that's our job.
That's our
job.
our forensics.
Yeah, our
That
forensics.
we've done.
You can't just go into a place because someone tells you it is what it is and then have to agree and go along with it and play by that rule book.
Right.
If you're doing what we do, you have to go in because we're going in to either verify or find something, not just take somebody's word for it.
Right. And what we do as investigators is we come in and we try to debunk the claims. That's our job. That's what we're supposed to do, is try to figure it out. Otherwise, you can't just go in as an investigator and go, yep, this is haunted. Yep, I agree with you. Yes, I agree with you.
Right.
Without actually going through the steps and trying to figure out what has happened.
Right.
So, just like the picture that we've been looking at
spent
for
some time-
hours now, we've been looking at even at dinner.
Trying to recreate it.
Right. And
we could be like other teams and just say it's a ghost and we don't know.
right. But then we're kind of giving a disservice then to our clients if we're not being honest with them of what we're finding out.
Right.
And some people they're happy about it. That's how we find out. Yeah,
That's
it's
why
not
we
a
don't get any sponsorships.
what? Yes, if you would like to sponsor us, please let us know. We would love to have you sponsor us.
Subway picture.
That's right. We go to Subway quite often, and we go to Quick Trip here in Wisconsin quite often. That's kind of our go-to places. But anybody who wants to sponsor us, would be happy to have you.
Great plug.
You like that?
Yeah, it was
I try. The other thing is that we talked about up here in the room that we're in is that we have two mirrors that are facing each other. And for people that don't know, when you have two mirrors facing each other, you can create what's called a portal. And a portal can take you to other dimensions, and it could also, not you personally, but it could bring in things from other areas, other spirits, and you don't know if you're bringing in good or bad. And so it was kind of like, I don't know, caught me off guard when I saw it, and I'm staring at him right now. And why would you want to create two?
Right, it's kind of a no-no.
Yeah.
I do, even as just superstitious, old superstitions when you're just decorating your house. You don't put one mirror across from another.
What's that beeping?
That's the REM pod.
That's the REM pod
Whatever.
that's beeping in the
It's
kids.
short time to shut off.
Mhm. And we're just talking about the portals. And supposedly there's a portal in their
Just went up.
In
the closet.
But I shut myself in the closet, and the only thing.
So is that why-
Back the vacuum over.
So is that why sometimes when, like in movies, they always come to the mirrors?
Yeah, because they don't want the spirit to get trapped.
Huh.
But when you do it like this, you're creating that opening that it's just constantly coming
There's
through.
actually something to
You
that.
covered it up because you didn't want the spirit to get out.
Yeah, you don't want them to get trapped.
No, you want them trapped in there, right?
But
So
you don't
cover
want
it up, because once you uncover it, and the spirit's free, and that's how the movie starts, right?
Or they come out of the well.
to.
They
Well,
come
Or TV.
TV's one. We're
Well,
off
that's a
topic.
we are off topic.
Yeah, we do that already.
So I mean, yeah, it kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, why would you create a portal or try to create a portal? Most people don't want that. They don't want to, because you don't know what you're going to bring in. It's kind of like using the Ouija board.
Yeah.
You don't know what you think you're talking to somebody. And most of the times, like when you're talking about like a malevolent entity, they start off being friendly, and especially to like little kids. They start easy access to them by showing them something that's not going to be scary, and then they build their confidence and their connection with them, and that's, it makes it easier for them to get attached to somebody. Same with the Ouija board. It talks friendly to you and then asks you to do this and asks you to do that, and then once you get into it, then all of a sudden you find out that this isn't who you think it is. And it turns out to be something bad. And the same with these mirrors. You don't know what's coming in or out. But the other thing I found, did you guys hear him talking about the mirrors with the different dimensions, or it's the infinity He's got the infinity mirrors going on
Mhm.
with this the setup, but it was like the one ended up being like the cowboy, and then there was like the mobster and the cowboys. Did you guys catch that at all?
Yeah, the
No.
first 6 layers or something was the mobsters, and then 7 through whatever were cowboys.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, what?
That's what he said.
yeah, it was,
He being the facilitator, the
yes.
proprietor of this finest.
You mean like the thickness of the mirror, that type of thing?
No,
What are
like
you talking
you know how it's got when you look at it, and then
Revolve.
there's like the next mirror. Because if you look in the mirror, you can see that mirror, and it just
You mean what you've seen in there? So when you're like we were looking at the one picture, we were debating if it was you that we were seeing from another mirror
Yes.
into that mirror.
Yes.
That's what you're talking about. So like you can look in one mirror and see 7 mirrors.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
but
look
it's
at
going
there,
back.
Yeah, you look
Yep.
there.
Look at there.
It goes
Take
back,
that
back,
yourself.
back.
Well, first seven,
You mean
are you
the
in the
mirrors you
monster
see in that
dimension?
mirror?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and then so he was
That
saying
kind of
like,
layer.
So you might look in there and you might see Al Capone. Deuces Al. I didn't see him though.
Al's supposed to have stopped here at
Yes,
some point
I
because
hang
we're
out
close
for Al
to the
Capone.
hideaway, which was his place here in what is it, central Wisconsin, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
he's more. It was
Well,
the hideaway
that-
a little bit more.
right,
Like,
but that's part of the reason why there was heavy mafia activity going on.
Well, they took the train up from Chicago. That's what the train tracks that are right along here. That was the thing is
right.
they
He
come
drove
up by
the
the
train.
train. He didn't drive it. Brian drives. it.
Brian drives the train.
He rode the train.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of
That's what they said. That's how the mobsters would come up.
maybe he had
with
his
it.
own car,
Probably
like a
did.
fancy car or something.
Probably did.
He must have got around a lot
Mafia
though.
cars, when you-
I know what you're talking about.
But do they have them? Like, you ever, when you're driving a train, do you pull a mafia car?
Do you have, no, we don't have mafia cars. No, sorry.
But so we've been to Shakers,
Yes.
and Shakers is supposed to have been a Capone stop or
And I
place.
believe that part of the story. Yes.
Right. So then Capone is supposed to have been here at Baraboo.
There's probably 100 places that can stake that claim.
But then we were
Right,
going to,
prostitution and mobster.
then we went to
Speakeasy.
Jericho. Jericho did the convent. And remember there was
Don't
a,
tell me Al Capone was at the convent.
no, on the way there was the Capone.
Restaurant.
Yeah,
That's right.
But it's still up. It's still this area. I mean,
right.
if you're going up north to wherever he was at before, I mean, you had Dillinger, you had all those guys that seemed to come up this way. And
Mhm.
anybody that was out of the Chicago area
Right.
always was. I mean, you can go anywhere around here, just like the Underground Railroad thing.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like that seems to tie into almost everything we do. You know.
It's true because even when we were out in Maxwell, Iowa,
Yep.
that was Underground Railroad as they were going west to Canada. I don't know why they just wouldn't go north, but they kept going west and then north.
Got to keep the man off their tail.
I guess so. I guess
Yeah.
so. But it's just weird that it's like Milwaukee and then Baraboo and then Jericho. It's like very zigzag.
Yeah.
And I get it. They're trying to keep, the feds
Well,
off of them.
In the name of the game back then with the prohibition, that's how they were making their money with all the illegal gambling and the drinking and the brothels. That's how they were making their money. So I mean, the more places they could get their hands on, they basically strong armed the owners
Right.
and forced them out and forcibly took over the businesses is what they did. So I mean, the more businesses they had, the more money they were making. I
Right.
mean,
This was a speakeasy, right, Leah?
Yes.
mhm. So I mean, that was just the name of the game back then, and in this like you were saying in Maxwell, Iowa, you didn't hear about Capone over that way because that's not what they did.
Right.
This was their territory. So
Well, and there's so many waterways around here too versus in Iowa.
Yep. Sure,
Um,
sure. Because I've heard that story before too. They
because
came up-
we're
Oh,
what,
Lake
like a
Michigan,
block
so-
away from the river,
yeah.
something like that, at least a block.
Oh,
And the railroad track is right
Right
across
here.
the street.
Yep.
So they got two accesses, easy access to this place.
Mhm.
Drop their stuff and go, come back from up north at their next stop, come back, get whatever money or whatever it is.
Right.
Stop at Baraboo and on the way back.
I'll say that both places that we've been to that have had the claim now of him being here or having something to do with it, we haven't found anything sustainable to say that we have proof that he was here, or that there's any type of paranormal activity related to him,
Mhm.
other than the stories that were told.
Well, that's the other thing. So I was thinking about this with Al Capone. Everybody talks about that they, like places like this that had allegedly had Al Capone stop
He should
here.
be talking to us because the stories say that he's one of the
Well-
more prominent EVPs you get is him, and he loves talking to investigators. So
Right.
we should be getting.
But-
Now that we're talking about him, you would think he's chiming in somewhere, right?
That was a spirit in all these different places, though, because
That's
he's also
So
supposed to be in
portals?
Port holes.
there's
the portals?
There's portals, yeah.
because he's supposed to be at Alcatraz because he's still got his stuff out there.
Who knows how spirit world works?
Yeah,
You can go
let's
where
be
you want to go.
honest. To
Whatever.
understand what they're doing with these portals, right? Or where they like
Traveling.
enter the
Traveling.
portal, where do they go? To the other mirror? Maybe they go to Alcatraz.
It just reminds me of like Harry Potter, where Dumbledore is gone, and well, he can't stay in the card forever, and he's got to go from this picture to that picture. It's
Right.
kind of like that.
Exactly.
There we go. I just answered my own question on that one.
Maybe it just
Thank you,
depends
Harry
on.
Potter.
Maybe it just depends on the places that they had the most influence on. Just like your loved ones or whatever, you feel like they're always at the place like where they always lived or whatever. Well, if he had so many hands in all these places, then those are the places that he's going to be all the time. And I mean, now I know. I think I know what you're saying. Like,
Oh,
Jesus Christ. Push Rob's phone. That was super weird because I put it on the seat.
I
Rob,
was
you're-
gonna say, because I put my phone right
I
there.
moved it because this was going off, but I literally put it right here.
and
And it's lit on.
that's a flat surface.
And nobody
It's-
called them and it didn't vibrate.
How flat is that?
Thanks,
flat?
Al.
It's actually,
I mean, it's pretty flat.
yeah.
Pretty
There's a
slim.
little
It's a bulb.
but
There you go. Here's that live actual
Look.
debunking.
There you go.
I have a ball on it. It's not moving.
Man, if Al Capone's messing with my phone.
That'd be the cat's ass. It's weird. Yeah.
honest,
I'm gonna leave the ball there. Oh, see now.
it's thrown off.
Yeah.
must be-
There we go.
Maybe I put it right on that little bend, but I don't know.
But if you did, it was there for an awful long
It
time.
was
Yes, I
there for a
agree.
long time.
Not just to fall off, but
That's a pretty wide, flat surface too on
But see,
that thing.
Now, earlier today, we had the same situation where I put a camera on a chair next to the torture pole
Mm-hmm.
and the camera fell off. Nothing else that I put onto the recorder or my phone fell off. But
But
it was my digital camera. When you turn it on, the lens telescopically, whatever you want to call it,
yeah.
comes out,
extends.
extends, and if you let it sit, it'll automatically shut off and it'll retract. So I'm thinking
When it retracted, it fell
it
off.
just like lost balance.
Lost
and fell
balance,
off.
exactly.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, if Al's gonna be mad, there's a lot of other things you could destroy in here. Al, except for my phone, you could knock over the fancy microphone that doesn't belong to me.
No, please don't do that. Don't knock over the fancy microphone.
Now, what we were saying before that happened, I think what you're saying is like, he can't be in all places all at the same time.
Right.
But who says, okay, now it's really gonna blow your mind.
Oh, God.
What if it's a different dimensional thing?
So interdimensional.
And he can be in all the places all at the same time. Who's to say?
Well,
this is starting with
'cause
something biblical.
Because the theory that we live like in a matrix, or it's like a video game, or
We live in several different universes,
You know what I mean?
parallel universes.
Right.
Let's just say it's something like that.
Infinite amount of parallel
I
universes.
know this is getting crazy, but I'm just saying. I mean, if you're gonna talk one way, you got to kind of take other things into consideration.
Well, that's
you know?
true.
So,
So he's just taking quantum leaps
well,
from one dimension to the other.
Well,
I don't know if
this-
there's any proof that you'd have to be in every location at the same time to say, okay, he's here at the same time. So I mean, I
Right.
don't know that that's.
Well, we don't know that
Never the
he's
case.
always at the same place at the same
Correct.
time.
But I think all those locations, it makes sense that he visit all those locations. That's assuming that, why would he love to be at Alcatraz?
Right.
Don't you think he'd hate to be there? So,
I don't know. When I went to his cell, I remember it was quite nice.
yeah, I know that, yeah.
So, I mean, he could have had it like everybody else.
Wasn't
And,
he at, Mansfield too, or he was in another one,
Mhm.
Ohio State, he was there too. I
yeah.
think,
And
Before he, or whatever, whichever, but. I
well,
think
and
was
he
at
always
Southern.
got like really good
Right.
service, not
Right.
service, but he was taking treatment. Thank you.
Treatment.
His
Yeah.
son looked like his
Yeah.
room.
Yes, he had a rug. At least the one I saw in Alcatraz was big rug. He had a nice, comfy chair,
radio.
plus his radio in his bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, books everywhere, and yeah. So he had it like his own little
Mhm.
hotel room, I guess you could say. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to be in jail, you might as well be comfortable. If you're Al Capone. So I mean, how bad was it for him?
Yeah.
Minus, he started losing his mind anyway because of the syphilis, but
Right, but I
Oh,
don't know that.
just kind of, yeah.
Chicks, man.
chicks. He was with too many brothel women. He could have been up here in this room,
Could very well been.
right
Well,
in here.
apparently he was.
Well, I think he left more than $5.
Oh,
Oh.
easy. Easy. That's
Rob
a-
was trying to.
$5 was a lot of money back then. And I asked why there were singles, and he said a couple of bucks. So I did like 250% what most people were paying.
But you're doing it in the back room. Those girls don't know what to do with that. They're probably like, "Oh no, I can't because that's too much money."
Doing it.
Well, you gotta, well, I'm not saying, do it in here, but that's the room that would be in.
For money all underneath my. We'll just see what happens.
But she probably was just like, "Oh no, that's too much. I'm gonna get in trouble. I can't
So the
take that from
theory
you."
is that if you throw money on, if a guy throws money on the bed and lays down, you're supposed to be touched or feel or whatever, something's supposed to happen. So I didn't have singles, so I thought it'd be a high roller and throw down a 5 and give me nothing. So unless we play back EVPs, and that's where all the moaning is, we'll find out.
Never know. We've had that happen.
That's true.
We're kicking ourselves, and then we find out later, that, hey man, there was way more going on than we thought. So,
Right.
which I hope that's the case here, but I mean,
The night is young.
The night is young. Is it though?
no, it's
Depends
not
on how
anymore.
old you are.
Well,
Not anymore.
we're
Way later than I normally am. So,
Not me. I'd be up until
Thank
some,
you.
it's like,
Are you guys saying you're not spring chickens anymore? Is that
because I would be up till like 3, 5 in the morning.
I remember those days.
No, that's true.
I remember those days.
Ugh.
Because you're, how much older than you are you than me?
Probably not much at all.
Right.
I remember those
I just
days.
don't sleep.
I can't do it anymore.
I just don't try. I just don't sleep.
I don't sleep
Because
because my
I-
dogs are in the bed taking over on my bed.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
Yeah,
They don't let me sleep.
yeah. I got one on the end of the bed and one next to me, and I
This will probably
lose
be the
my
best night.
spot.
This will probably be the best night's sleep like in a long time up here. Because there won't be no animals waking me
No,
up.
you'll be up at 7 o'clock
I know I will be up at 5 o'clock.
unless
Unless
we get woke up by the poltergeist.
I would love to
Poltergeist?
have poltergeist activity happen tonight.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't know that
We
was
did
an
the
option.
phone.
Thank you for inviting that.
What, dude, would be awesome.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
We
seeing
invite
some
you, we invoke you to
poltergeist is just noisy ghosts. So I mean, it's not. It's
No,
not
no.
noisy.
no.
Terrible.
We need furniture being thrown around.
Oh, it's not going around. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like,
Best podcast ever.
That would be.
yes,
Nobody else has ever done that before.
it would be interesting, but I don't want anybody getting hurt or any of the equipment getting wrecked.
Listen,
Listen, Linda.
If you want to make an omelet, you have to break some eggs. Sponsor us, please.
my goodness.
Quick Trip sells eggs.
Yeah, they do.
I think Subway serves breakfast. So boom, it all ties in.
Yes, it does.
See, there you go. So
Perfect.
what else do we want to do tonight we're going to do the spirit box session tonight.
We're gonna do the Ouija board.
We did not bring the Ouija board.
Absolutely not gonna happen.
Granted, when you're asking questions, it's pretty much the same as doing a Ouija board. It's just you don't have the Ouija board in front of you.
It's kind of cool looking. We don't ever use the Ouija board.
No, we don't.
And we are not promoting using the Ouija board. We have had a lot of disclaimers in the last episodes. Haven't we? Don't do what we do.
Not to say I don't own a Ouija board. I just don't
Are
use
there
it.
documented cases of actually something happening horrible to somebody that used the Ouija board? Or is this just folklore? Because really, I mean, obviously I don't condone using one, but it's only because of all the things you hear.
Right.
Is there anything documented that said
I had a
using the
really
Ouija board actually was-
weird experience. I had a very bad experience as a teenager, me and this dude using it. We were messing around, occultism stuff, little kid shit. And I've never used one since. Never. And I'm old.
we were,
But I
touched on that.
would, given the opportunity.
But didn't they have that in England? Conjuring 2. The girls, they had the Ouija board.
Mhm.
And then there was the one that Janet and her friend made at school, and they were trying it, and then she brought it home and her sister saw it and they were messing with it in their house. And then it was after that things started happening in their house.
Media influencing paranormal investigation and
That's what I'm thinking.
facts. How much of that movie was actually?
Oh, I'm sure a lot of it was, but it wasn't that why the actual
Well, it's
haunting
like
happened started.
Linda Blair, The Exorcist. That's how it happened. She was messing with the Ouija board by
Mhm.
herself.
Right.
No.
Yeah, but with Linda Blair's Exorcist, that was supposed to be off of the boy, and we don't really know his whole story. Versus the one in England, that one was the documented one. Remember, there's a picture of her allegedly hovering over the bed, even though it looks like she was
She's
jumping from
jumping.
one bed to the other. But they were saying no, that wasn't it. That she was levitating, and the beds were shaking.
I don't know. I don't know enough about
I don't know.
documented cases of something. So you're saying you want to start bringing the Ouija
Well, I'm
board?
just saying, like Kathy was saying, we kind of do that now.
So
Per se,
like,
without the board.
let's just get a
I'm
nice
just saying,
team
what's the-
Ouija board and bring it out, like spend some money on there, and we'll get Scott, right? Because he's our finance.
He's our financer.
But if you want to
Sponsor.
sponsor us, we get really nice.
Parker Brothers.
Ah,
I have a Parker Brothers one.
that's what I have. My planchette glows in the dark. Does yours?
No,
Oh, no,
No.
mine does.
I think the felt on one of the legs is missing, and the clear piece in the oracle is missing.
Jeez.
Hell, it's
What have you
Literally,
been doing with yours?
so many spirits and stuff.
he's wore that sucker right down.
See, I'll put mine out just to take pictures of it for certain things, like for the website or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it out on the kitchen table, and the kids will come home and they're like, stop dead in their tracks. And they're like, Mom, why is that out? Because I'll leave the cover off just a little bit with the planchette kind of hanging out. And they're like, put that away. I didn't do anything with it. All I did was like lay it out on the table, and just so I could take a picture of it, and it freaks them the hell out. They're just
Sure.
like,
I didn't bring it out. I thought you brought it.
How'd
up.
that get here?
well, they'll sit there like, you need to put that back in your office, get it out of here. I'm like, what's the difference of it being in my office versus being on the kitchen table? It's in the same building. It's there. But yeah, they don't like it.
I hope we catch an EVP on this.
Well,
Good
that's the
show.
thing. If you're listening to this, let us know if you catch any EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, that does not sound like the rest of our voices. And it kind of could be hard to tell because we're all kind of talking at the same time. But
Yeah, and it's like, make sure you write down the time, like just now Dan burped. So.
So that's called tagging. When somebody does something that is where they're moving or something like that, we tag it. I coughed, I sneezed, I knocked into a wall, I hit, a table, I moved a chair. We tag those things so that when we go back and listen to things later on, like the voice recorders or the cameras, then we know that it was us and not something paranormal. So when you hear us saying, well, so-and-so just moved to this and they did that, like the bell that just went off right now. Brian's hitting the bell.
Oh, Brian's winding down for the
No,
evening.
I'm
He's getting
taking my
comfy.
shoes off. I'm tired of my shoes being on.
Tired of my shoes. I'm not
Merry
tired,
Christmas.
Just tired of my shoes being.
Tired of my shoes being on.
Oh, now he's getting super
That's
comfy.
how it starts.
Right?
Yep.
Pretty soon the hood will be up over. his
I gotta
head.
take my
Next thing you know,
contacts
it's
out. That's next. That's in about 5 minutes.
So we're taking applications for younger.
Yeah, there you go.
customers Who aren't tired by 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
12 o'clock, it's gotta be like 3:30 by now.
It's not.
Oh, shit. Feels like it.
It's like 1.
Oh.
Well, we'll find out because
Al-
Brady's going to Ashmore with us.
Knocking his phone off the chair.
Oh, is
Yeah,
she?
she said she'll come with us.
Nice.
Oh, it's 1:09, my friend.
That's it, huh?
1:09 in the morning?
Wow.
We're not even to witching hour yet.
Bam.
No,
Not even close.
no, and there's a lot of these guys holding.
So, like I was telling him, my daughter is going to go to Ashmore with us. So she's, 14. We'll see how well she can stay up because she can stay up pretty late. But
All the girls split up.
she also like takes naps for like 16 hours during the day because she.
Yeah, I kind of do that. That's another thing. I sleep like a cat.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll sleep like 4 or 5 hours, and then I'll take a couple naps.
She comes up, sees the daylight, hisses at us, goes away.
Right?
I'm like, go
Speaking
away.
of young children and 14-year-olds, big shout out to my Kara, who is 14 today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Make it through
Nice.
the evening and
And your mom will probably bring home an attachment.
No, she didn't.
No, she's not going to bring home an attachment. No.
It's
Maybe she'll find some good evidence along the way.
That's what we're hoping for.
That's what we want.
That's what we're hoping for.
Chandelier that's above us can swing a little bit. That's okay. Just don't fall. Don't do it. Yeah, don't do a Phantom of the Opera.
For middle of the morning, whatever it is.
Again, ask chandelier move. They can come hold my hand, you can pull my hair. You can tap me on the shoulder. You can do something, anything. You're welcome to. Come on, bring it.
Nothing has happened for us yet.
Not a
No,
thing.
it's been slow.
touch my hand, pull my hair,
Well, except for your phone falling.
touch my shoulder.
Out of nowhere.
Hold my beard.
I just want to see your beard go straight out.
She what?
Also loves to hug little girls.
Who loves to
Who?
hug little girls?
That's what you said at Ashmore during our last Estes.
What?
Yeah.
You said it or I said it?
Leah said it. You can hug me. I love hugging little girls.
Me?
I don't remember that one. But then too, I was probably blindfolded and listening to the radio.
Yeah, that's true.
Of me. Much better.
You comfy cozy now?
Comfy, cozy, contacts out, shoes off.
So are we ready to?
That's 2
Oh,
or
he's
3.
really ready.
Are we ready to
That's
start off?
3, yeah. That's
Yeah.
3.
You ready to set up the Estes method?
STDs?
No, it's not the SD.
STD,
Oh my goodness. See, here we go again.
testes.
STDs, easy.
Oh, I gotta rank all
Yeah,
these guys sometimes.
Use one of our own here.
Right? All right. So we're gonna take a short break and we're gonna come back and then we're gonna do the
Do they
Estes
know we're
method.
taking a break if they're listening to the.
They,
That's true.
yes,
Good point.
they know because we come back and we say, hey, we're back.
Oh, okay, we'll do that then.
Okay, so we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come right back though.
Guys,
Yeah. There's no light. He said that the light. So we're having light
Did you
issues
bring
right
in-
now,
Did you bring in meter?
and sometimes that happens with the electricity around here. So again, we're gonna come right back and we'll do the Estes method with you. All right, welcome back to Wicked Darkness. We took a small break and we're even giddier than we were before. I apologize in advance. So we're now going to do the I'm doing it again, Estes method. I'm going to be blindfolded. I am going to have noise canceling headset on, listening to a radio that's going to be scanning the frequencies quickly. And then they're going to be, they, as in the team, are going to be asking me questions, and I'm not going to be able to hear the questions. I'm just going to say whatever I'm hearing on the frequency.
And you do not know the question.
I don't know the questions. I wasn't
At
even in the
all.
room. I was in the back of the building. So I have no idea what's going to be asked.
And we have already decided during the break that we were just gonna duct tape Kathy to the chair. And we were gonna leave her there all night and, go to bed. Well, she just sat there and spewed out words, random words.
This is the torture I get. Yeah, this is nice.
It was a lot funnier during break.
I'm like, why am I going to be duct taped to a chair?
Bacon.
Bacon. So, people are probably like, what in the world am I listening to?
Oh,
Guy
man.
across the hall is gonna be like the Tourette's lady that lives.
All right. So normally when I'm doing these, I kind of just get, acclimated to things. I just kind of, listen. I don't say much at first, unless things are really coming through. And I'll let you guys know if it starts getting too intense for me.
And you can
So,
probably already hear it because the headphones are right by the mic, so
mhm.
we might be able to hear what she's gonna be listening to.
It just actually, there we go.
There.
All right. So I'm going to put the headset on now.
Let me know if it's too loud. I'll turn the volume up or down. Good or not?
A little bit up. Okay.
So she's gonna probably
Oh,
start
actually a little
yelling.
bit more.
She has the headphones on, so she probably doesn't realize she's yelling.
Good.
Mhm.
And it also has to be so loud so she doesn't hear the
Here,
question.
yes.
But we can just kind of.
And
We're also videotaping this session.
Yep.
And
it's also very disorienting too, like, it's a lot of sensory overload, so sometimes people have to tap out.
so,
A lot of concentration.
Yeah,
so maybe we should begin.
all right.
All right. There is George or Anna Bender in the room or bar. What about a John or Rose? How do you guys feel the bar is being ran right now?
What I can hear,
I promise. Beautiful.
so you feel the bar is being ran beautifully?
I don't know. I suppose.
What would you do differently?
Leave your phone off, Rob.
I hear more static coming out of her headphones than anything, and I'm starting to wonder if the area we're in isn't gonna have as much
Yeah, maybe.
radio signal.
What?
Sorry,
there's nothing.
Sorry, that was Siri.
Are there any children in the area with us?
One moment.
Siri again, sorry.
Pass.
Is there anybody upstairs with us right now?
Huh?
Are you standing right here next to Kathy?
Oh.
Phone's in her pocket when
That's
she's
what I'm
done.
wondering, but I don't wanna touch it and interrupt.
Sure, yeah.
The K2 meter is going off like crazy. We're not sure if it's the phone or if,
It's odd. Yeah, that one spot.
Are you standing here by Kathy?
Here, try this. Try this meter. See if that goes anywhere over there.
5.1.
really? Are you standing here with Kathy?
Why don't you give her a tug, let her know you're here. Hold her hand.
Hey.
Hey, what's
Hey.
up?
What's your name?
Which one right here on the table? Right here on the table, by the soda.
This is
Yeah.
Your
phone.
cell phone's right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
nice debunking.
I still feel like over here, is it still going? Well,
She's feeling for something, Rob.
Rob,
The REM pod's going off.
She's grabbing for something, her hand.
Yeah.
Her hand.
Do you want me to touch it?
No, I'm just saying, look how she's acting with her hand. Remember you just told somebody to hold her hand?
You holding her hand?
There's somebody,
You got it.
Okay, good.
The REM
the REM pod's going off.
I got a chill.
is there somebody making the REM pump go off? Is there somebody in that other room?
I shut it off.
Who is here with us?
Oh, it's from here, and I shut it off.
Is Al here with us?
Did you used to work here?
David?
Are you David?
What's this? Did you used to live here?
Anything back there?
I don't know, it's feeling weird back there, but I moved the rocking horse further back. So
G2
maybe,
was going up like crazy.
Yeah.
are we still asking questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, I've been.
Yeah.
So we're
Are
getting
you
a
trying
weird,
to communicate with us?
Are you reaching for Kathy's hand?
Okay.
Okay, but
Cut her. Stop her.
Okay.
okay, she's coming out. You tell us all about it.
Okay.
First
wanna-
up, what's in your pocket? Is it on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The K2 was going crazy.
Okay.
And the
I don't
REM
know how
pod
to
started going crazy.
turn it off. Got it.
And this is still, what's the reading been on this thing?
That's mine.
That's his.
It's been over here sitting like at 3.8.
Okay, well, I'm just saying it's been at 5.1.
No, let's sit by here. Put it on the phone. Anything?
And no, it was like 100 and some, just when you put it there, it goes up to like 133, but. Even over here, it's 5.1, but we were getting some between here and your phone, which we figured it was your
It's my
phone.
phone.
Yeah, your flashlight. We didn't want to touch you, but you could see the big rectangle.
So the reason okay, so what was happening? Everything I'm hearing is at a distance. It's very, very like, I don't know if you saw, well, there was, I don't know, obviously you guys saw me, but I was putting my hand up because I'm blindfolded, but it got darker. And I'm not saying it was a darker entity that was by me. It was just getting darker. But then the voices that I was hearing were getting farther away. It was very difficult. So it was kind of like me trying to push whatever the darkness was to get out of the way to get this voice closer. If that makes any sense.
The K2 was going off, so is anybody here with us? Kind of spiel, and you put your hand out like this, or like you want to hold Kathy's hand. Go ahead and hold her hand.
Yeah.
Then you started putting your hand up.
Well, because I put my hand out because I was trying to draw it closer because I can hear it at a distance, and I was trying to get it closer. But as I did that, the darkness was coming even closer. It was, and it's hard to explain for people that don't do this, that even though I'm blindfolded, yes, it's dark and I'm in a dark room right now, but it was even darker. So think of it as like looking in a dark room and it's even darker in that corner. That was kind of like this. And that's why I was kind of like trying to push whatever it was away to draw them closer because it was really hard to hear them. I could hear them, but it was at a distance, and it was hard to hear what they were trying to say. If that makes any sense to you guys.
There wasn't a lot of like specific answers, but I'm not sure if it's your phone, but the REM pods started going off. The K2 was going off, and even further back. The thing you had, what's it called?
This is a
Charfield?
Yeah, that was going off.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't can hear the questions though.
But the
Don't.
K2 was going off, was not going off by the REM pod. Though. I moved the rocking chair back away from it.
Okay.
Or the rocking horse, I'm sorry.
Right.
In case that was too close to it or something, but still needs movement.
Yeah.
But the light
I
bulb
still
next
think
to
it's
it
got
was
something
not.
to do with the temperature back there. Because every time the furnace will kick on and off, that didn't go off.
And it could be, yeah, because it's
Well,
temperature
I
sensitive.
turned it way down because everything just got weird. There was chills and all of a sudden everything.
Weird in here for a moment.
Yeah, because everything was going on at once.
Yeah,
I got a chill and I got a chill back there and
and I'm
I
not
don't
saying,
know if it was the excitement or whatever was happening.
well, I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it again. It was just, I'm trying to get whatever it is in the back area to come forward. Because it's like,
Do you feel like you're hearing a lot of words?
I am, but
Because if I can hear
yeah,
some of it and it sounds like a lot of static.
Mhm.
And then I was wondering if, well, we're out in the middle of nowhere kind of, so
If Bugsy-
it's just a lot of stations and stuff for it to stay.
right. But sometimes it's not even like, it's not even that, it's like I can hear some voices. And it's not just like the frequency, it's just, it's very, very hard to hear it because it's so faint.
What can we do different to help you hear
Well, that's why I'm trying, that's why I was trying to like, see if I could separate it. And that's where I was pushing that darkness out, because it was like trying to draw them into the lighter part of the,
it? Your phone off.
let's see. I will. All right, so we're back. We had some technical difficulties. We turned off my phone, which is our hotspot, so that caused a little bit of a problem. It disconnected our computer system. So,
Round two?
round two. Yeah. I'm gonna take the sweatshirt out and get a little bit more comfortable.
I was gonna ask, are you still comfortable with doing it?
Yeah, I'm fine. It was just trying to. It was, and I don't know if it's. I was kind of being drawn to the mirrors. It sounds weird, but
The portal.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just like drawn to getting closer to them.
Is it Cowboys or
So I
mobsters?
said, you
Oh, that would be cool to sit in between them.
That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe that would be.
I don't know, I've been sitting between the whole
What-
time.
That is true.
what's the worst that can happen?
Did
Now
you
we got
say that out
Now we
loud?
got receptions.
Right.
Isn't that how like horror movies start?
Hey, yes.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, here. Let me. I'm gonna.
We're driving.
You guys got a switch?
Property.
I'm just gonna.
Where you going?
I'm moving.
Gonna go in between the mirrors.
Between the mirrors.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting closer to you.
I see that.
Yeah, we're good here.
Maybe it'll be some salsa music on.
Do you have any more questions?
I have one and I'll talk it.
No,
Alright.
This one has a nice one.
Oh, there we go.
And one?
No.
Ooh, that's a cute one. Red.
Sorry. It was Jackson 5 Santa Claus.
Nice.
Just said round two.
Really?
Really? Yeah, that's kind of.
He's under.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of odd to come on the radio.
Turn it up more.
Volume.
Huh. Can you see what that is? Wow.
Said, gentlemen, I got messages.
Who is it? Who's the messages?
Give us your messages.
And who's giving them? Good idea, Rich.
Yeah, I gotta move over here.
Yeah.
Can we go through all your questions?
No, I can ask about the fire.
We're in the back.
What's way in the back? We've been here for a few hours. Do you know any of our names? Can you say any one of our names?
Kind of interesting.
Dreams.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains?
There are stories of trains still running through here. Are you a passenger on a train?
Or did you come here by train?
You get raised.
There's a huge train accident nearby. Were you part of that?
Howard,
Is your name Howard?
37.
You're 37? Is there anyone with you, Howard?
Let them be. One on Earth. Down. Work.
What were those names that you asked in the first couple of questions?
Oh. Anna or George?
Around.
Anna and George are around? What about John and Rose? Are they still here?
$6:30. Because I want. Help.
You need help?
What's your name? Do you stay here in the house? On the second floor? How old are you?
I.
Is the response?
Attack. Me.
Were you attacked in this house?
How did you die? From an attack?
Disgusted.
We're getting a lot of words with no question.
Did you work here?
Come down.
Did you frequent this bar? Or were you here before it was a bar? Was it a brothel?
CJ.
CJ.
5.
Can you give us a sign that you're here with us now?
Stay.
You want,
Lay.
Mm-hmm.
Without.
How long have you been here?
I'm lost.
Is that why you stay? Is that why you still reside here?
Are you a child?
4.
Are you 4 years old? Did your mom work here? Are you looking for your mommy?
Fear.
Ask her if she's in the back room.
Is your mommy in the
It's
back?
gonna hurt.
are you in the back bedroom, in the children's room?
More pain.
What's hurting you?
I did it.
What did you do?
The head.
You hurt somebody in the head?
Right up the rest of these.
Needle.
Drug use. It's not funny though.
It's pretty important. The rich house. They're in. There's a camera.
There is. You're correct.
Just doing my job. Hose.
House or hose?
You back here. Are you back here now? What you see?
Hose. You can touch yourself.
The taxes.
Taxes.
Taxes stuff, I agree.
In the room.
In the room. You charge taxes for the rooms?
They're walking. On the side. In the morning. Kissing. My heart. It's an accident.
Were you in that?
From the trunk. I killed.
You killed?
over love. Pregnant.
Were you pregnant in here? Were you in love with the person that you're pregnant?
Rest. Hold me. Laughing. Practicing. I'm feeling.
What was that?
I don't know. Rob, did you just make that noise?
It was a coin fall.
Okay.
Good.
That thing is not coming on.
Forever.
Just making that noise. It's not, you have to put your foot right next to it for the change. It's never, and there's no K2 reading.
Okay.
I'm serious. I like this.
You'd like to talk to us?
You like that?
Just walking.
Who was just walking?
Who?
Gonna give you a lot of random.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah, want to pull her out?
yeah, killer.
What? Killer.
Should we pull her out?
Let's go tap her out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, pretty random.
Very random.
It's just became a bunch of random words.
Turn this
I'll
off.
pronounce.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I keep trying to figure it out. It's just
How was that one?
Well, besides the volume being really, really loud, when it would switch, it would scare me because it'd be like
Yeah.
in your face.
Yeah.
No, I felt something. That's why my hand was here. I was feeling something this way to my right. And it was at one point something touched my back. It felt like something touched my back area. So I was kind of like trying to push whatever it was away. But then it felt cold over here. I don't know if you guys feel coldness.
I don't know, I shut the heat way down.
Yeah, no, it was like constant cold right here.
I was up in the back room because the REM pod it only turns on enough to make that annoying ass sound. And it doesn't, if I put my foot closer to it, it'll go blue and green, but otherwise it just keeps doing that. And I'm not getting any K2 hits in there. So I tried asking questions in the back room, kind of coax it to if there's something here to answer through you, but you weren't answering the questions I was asking. And it became a bunch of random words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes it does that, it's random.
I think that some of it wasn't as random though, because of the story that we know
Right,
had
there was a
happened
little bit
here.
of a pregnant,
Yeah,
like at one point you said pregnant, I think, and then.
Killed over love, pregnant.
Train.
There was train in there.
The train was actually a question, was a response to a question, right? When we
No, I don't think so. I think
think it
that
was-
just came
came
out.
out.
Was that- no, because it was, do you know any of our names?
I said that first, yeah.
And then she said train. Which I know it's not the name, but Brian.
It's an occupation because
Is
you
that-
said
he's
you're
an
an
engineer.
engineer.
True.
True.
That's what the first thing I thought of when you said it. Some of the other stuff you were just saying. You did say pregnant, you said 5, you said a bunch of, there was
Like
something about.
taxes.
Yeah, attacked.
Taxes, Ruby.
So, but I mean, those were
charging
What's the
taxes.
question?
Get here by the train.
It seems like it
charge
was
taxes.
really gonna go in a good direction when you said train.
Mhm.
Did you know any of their names, but then,
I
I
feel
like how you thought about that because when I heard train, I immediately thought of the train accident that took place nearby and that there could still be passengers walking from that train accident, wandering.
Let's wait.
And then that's when I started hearing just walking outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just, that's where my head went. But it's interesting that your head went from train to his occupation. So it's two different viewpoints. I like that.
well, we did talk about, like, we didn't talk about what I do for a living.
Mhm.
We didn't talk about, you know what I mean, but we did
Right.
talk about,
What
we
you
have
do.
talked
Yeah,
about.
she
since
didn't
we've been
mention
here.
Jelly Belly. There was no Jelly came out.
Please sponsor us, Jelly Belly.
Jelly Belly, there you go.
If you haven't gotten it by now, we're looking for a
That's a good-
sponsor.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of, because it was just a way of maybe not necessarily knowing Brian's name, but still an identification
Mhm.
that she knew, they knew, it knew.
I feel like something is still holding things back. When, you know, that's what I'm getting, is that something is like not allowing them to speak.
Like
You know?
a 7 foot tall backstabbing.
Dark man in
What
the
if it's a dark man, a dark shadow man, or whatever? It feels like
There's
there's
resistance.
resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we coax that? Like,
Well,
how do we
Well, you figure that
everybody
these.
go sit in a different room and we only have 2 people in here?
Well, we're up in the brothel area, and you know, she's the madam.
How do you know it's the madam?
No, like this is the madam room. How much power did she have over the other girls?
Good point.
You know, do not talk about what happened. You're
What
not
happens in the brothel
stays in a brothel, right? And what do they say?
With
Down
my
in the
experience.
basement here is where they would do the abortions, because the girls got pregnant, but some were able to keep the kids, or they already had kids, and I'm not sure what that story
Where
was.
do they have all this room?
I don't know.
Next
you know,
door when it was all one or something? Because I mean, we got 2. This was the madam's quarters,
right?
and when we say madam's quarters, I'm just assuming this
The
is
A
like
girl.
the waiting room.
No, this would be the A girl. So this would be the one that has the
Top of the line.
sponsor who pays for all her stuff. And whenever that sponsor comes, whatever she's doing, she has to stop what she's doing to spend time with that sponsor. Because that's the one that pays for her rents and
Board.
yeah.
Yes.
So I get, all right. So
Her sugar daddy comes.
this was a bedroom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the other 2 were rooms, but what was the other across the hall then?
Probably another B-lister.
Yeah. That or this was all open.
I think it was probably open.
And
like
this
one
was-
big-
The interesting thing, what we're talking about is that we're on one side of the building and there's a hall dividing us from another unit that somebody does occupy, and we had thought about kicking her door down, not really. We thought about going next door just to asking if they have any experience, because I don't understand why, you know, one half of the upstairs would have experience, but
Not
the
the other.
downstairs and the basement would. So I think it would be interesting to interview that guy.
Right.
So how do we gain the trust of an entity, a ghost, to like give us what we want to hear? Because I don't see, like, the K2's not going off.
Right.
The REM pod's acting weird though, but I'm wondering if it's staying at that same, like, it doesn't get lower or higher than what it is. Is that thing making it go off?
No, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
No, because the REM pod, you have to be within the vicinity of the REM pod. Like you have to be
And then it's like
around.
they
the
come
REM pod.
so close to it. Do you know what I mean? Because I even stood around the corner.
That thing's been going off all night.
Right,
But
but it also has a temperature
See,
thing
that's
on
what
it,
I think it
and
is.
it's on the floor.
Yes.
And it's cold in the hallway to get into this place, and there's a draft coming through.
it's like as soon as you do the session,
Mhm.
thing doesn't stop. It does not stop,
Well,
but it doesn't get any higher or lower.
but it shouldn't, it's not on
I'm
that,
just saying it's doing it.
right, but that's not how it's designed for that frequency, like it's not like a radio transmitter.
I'm not saying that's what it is.
Right,
I'm just saying that once it happens,
it goes off.
right, so, I mean, I'm gonna assume that with the temperature,
Mhm.
does it go blue and green when it,
No, with blue and green means it's coming, it
There
comes up
goes.
to it,
Going right now.
There it goes.
yeah,
so that's probably just temperature then.
probably.
Hey, Rich, your camera one went filled on again.
Damn camera.
Kevin keeps going down.
Yeah, it's just not.
The tape just doesn't hold it up there.
Surface is
It doesn't get
take
cleaned
through.
enough,
Right.
filthy madams and.
So you got to hear a Estes method, as we did it. It can work where it's random, and doesn't make any sense to anybody. Doesn't make any sense to me when I'm saying the words out loud anyway. Only because I don't know what they're asking me. And then there are times that you're getting something that is going and coinciding to the questions that are being asked. But this time, it, like I said, it feels like there's something holding it back and not allowing it to talk, which makes sense since you're in a brothel. You're not, the secrets are not supposed to be out for the public to know. What happens in the brothel stays in the brothel. Yeah, I know. Okay, temperature. So yeah, I don't know how to draw that out.
Should we put the REM pod maybe on like one of the stairs of the ladder, raise
We-
it off the ground?
We could,
So, we use sage
Mhm,
for cleansing.
right?
Why do we use sage?
We use it to get rid of it.
How does that work?
So when we use the sage, it's the smell of the sage. I don't know why the smell. It has healing properties in it, I guess you could say.
So it's drawing in positive.
It's drawing in the
Do you
positive
think that
and
if
pushing
we-
out the negative.
Do you think if we lit the sage and then did a question and answer, do you think that might give it a different?
It could.
Interesting.
Yeah, it could.
Because I was thinking, what if, I like that idea. I was also thinking, what if us females go into one of the smaller rooms where we would think one of the lower women would be in and maybe ask our questions in there to see if the women would be comfortable talking to us females. If the madam might not.
We
be
can
in
do
that
it all at
room.
the same time.
Yeah. We could do that too.
It's a thought. If the madam stays in here and she seems to be powerful, maybe we went to the small rooms, they would feel more comfortable.
Right. Well, what did he say about the one that's downstairs, Mary? She's very
Scary.
Scary, yeah.
scary.
Okay.
Well, yeah, she's scary, but either she likes you or she doesn't.
Right.
But she is like the madam, and she's the enforcer of the female spirits. Kind of, that's what he made it sound like. She was, because they have that cooler downstairs, and if she doesn't like you, she'll lock you in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if she likes you, she'll open the door for you. But who's to say she stays down there? She could come up here.
Good. Or Sybil could be coming up here.
Yeah. Who's Sybil though? I mean, because I don't remember reading about a Sybil. Because he came up with it. So there is a Target mannequin Halloween decoration on the first floor. We took pictures of it. We'll post them. But he, as in the proprietor of the location, calls it Sybil. And I don't remember Sybil as a,
I feel like I've never heard that name outside of the movie. It's just like, yeah, like I've never heard
Yeah.
anybody's name Sybil before.
right,
Like,
Sybil, I believe, was in the book.
was it?
well, she was in the show with Bruce Willis, right?
Yes.
Sybil Shepherd?
Yeah.
Oh my God. From like,
Moonlighting.
yeah, there you go. From like
Tangents.
1989.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
It was like Bruce Willis first started.
Yes,
Yeah.
very young
First
Bruce.
show.
That's when he still had hair too.
Mm. So,
We got off topic. So
it's like
we,
all of a sudden, just like
yeah,
one
we just
minute we're
kinda-
like art jokes, and the next minute we're like,
oh, we are getting tired.
People
We
are
are
tired.
a half an hour away from witching hour,
Yeah.
by the way.
so then what that means is maybe
That thing won't stop going off. Still
well,
going.
What do you think?
Go put that up on a step.
it probably is, but that's not really my concern. My concern is that how can we make these things talk? And do we want to do another session? Because I mean, what if we just write some questions down? You know, some new ones or ask some of the old ones. And the women go in the other room. And maybe we burn some sage or something like that. Just
So you want me to stay in here and they go in there?
Sybil is mentioned in here, but only as the guest that's seen in a white dress.
oh, so they just gave her a name.
The mannequin downstairs. Or the real apparition.
So what was your idea that she would stay here and you guys would go in the other room,
Well, the females would go in the other room to see,
including her?
right, to see if the B-listers would talk to us. Maybe they're the ones that are being held back.
Okay.
Should we light sage,
Yeah, I like give that a try too.
or should we just burn it across? Do like
Freaking smoke alarms aren't gonna go off in there, are they?
No.
well, not if that guy next door can smoke the way he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
So should we just do like kind of a saging cleansing and then
Do
do
you
the
think that would get rid
question?
of her?
Well,
I think
I'm
it's
not
the
gonna do a
positive.
cleansing, but we can burn the sage to lift the energy in here, bring more of the positive than negative.
And then we can do that and then we can just go to bed. You should see Kathy's eyes right now.
Everyone's tired.
We're all
Yeah,
tired.
everyone's tired. I got
So-
work
Except for Dan.
I
Dan
think
is
what
not
we'll
tired
do
at
is-
all.
We'll let you know how this works. I think we're going to end this episode.
You can hear the energy level drop.
You can hear the energy level drop. So we will we'll let you know how this plays out. We're still recording everything, so I mean you'll still be able to hear if we get anything. But we're gonna end this episode. So for our believers, keep on believing. For our skeptics, keep us grounded. I'm Kathy, your host. Have a good night.
Deuces.
Like,
Oh, where are you? We hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. Please email us with your thoughts on this and any of our previous episodes. And if you have a topic you'd like us to talk about, email us at souphit@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to another episode of Wicked Darkness.